Carlo Berg, have a good night. Thanks for hanging out. I appreciate you, buddy. So here we are. We're slowing ourselves down. Getting ourselves below 10, maybe. Make sure you throttle a little bit. That way you can turn your engine bell towards the ground. Early legs kind of suck. We're a little tall. And there's your landing. Now, you only need about 800 Delta V to get home. We got 1,500 tin can. So we can hop out with Jeb. Oh, the rocket. Get back in. Oops. Well, this is why you don't want a tall rocket with the shitty beginner legs. But you know what? We can fix this. We can fix this. Because if you have a control wheel, like I said, to put on your rocket, you should be able to stand yourself back up. Without any problem. Come on. 1 second. Yeah. There we go. There we go. If you put a control wheel on your rocket, you'll be able to do this. It's not normal in regular in regular real life stuff, but this is Kerbal. It doesn't matter. So there we go. We're up straight again. Now it's probably gonna fall again when we try to get back out, but just know that that's just how things work. Unfortunately, in Kerbal, what you could do is turn SAS off and try to bounce yourself to a nice flat spot. That way your rocket stays put. That's a fun little challenge that wastes a lot of electric charge. But that's completely up to you. For now, though, we're just going to use this as a nice, convenient way to hop out. And we're going to conduct some experiments. So we're going to EVA. We're going to hop out. All right. We're going to plant our flag. Because you wanted to do that. Boom. Flag planting mission done. See? Ta-da! We're going to plant the flag. Yay! Good job! Yay! That's awesome! Hooray! We're going to hit cancel. We're going to take this thing back down again. We're going to do an EVA report, probably, because you got that unlocked in your career. We can take a surface sample, because I can, but you can't. 120 science. We don't need it. And then I need to jump back. Oops. Smack. That's why probe cores are really important, because if you have SAS on the probe core, the rocket will stay up, and you can just put your Kerbals wherever you want, and no one cares. But if you're relying on a pilot, and it's the only person in the craft, you're going to have a hard time sometimes. Alright, I need to flip myself back around here. Body slam! Come on, flip over, flip over. Use that momentum. Use that momentum. All right, there we go. Step back up. Hooray. Okay, so we'll do our pressure. Log pressure data. We'll log science data. Sweet, sweet. Do a crew report inside. And then we can launch. Now, when you launch from a body, my general rule of thumb, you can figure out whatever you want to figure out for your landing. I always take off towards 90 degrees. Because that's how you launch from Kerbin, and if you land equatorial, it gets you back into a roughly equatorial orbit. So we're going to turn ourselves to where we can aim 90 degrees on our right-hand side here, and we're going to launch. 3, 2, 1, go. And we're just going to aim and point that way. That's just what I do. It makes me feel comfortable about my burn. It keeps things consistent. Get to about 11, 12,000. Wait for us to get around, and then change this over to sea level. And we're good to go. So now we have 1,300 Delta V to get home with. And yes, it's the one lander. And yes, we can do it. So we'll wait till we can speed up. Get about a minute, 50 seconds, 40, 30, 20. We'll pop ourselves over here and start burning. See the counter going up? We can get a little closer before we gotta start worrying about burning. Counter's still going up. I'll leave it under 20. This is just a general rule of thumb that I like to follow. Because you don't want to get too far of an elliptical orbit, because then you wasted Delta V. Unless that's what you're trying to do, then all more power to you. I like trying to be as circular as possible. We can get a little closer. There's 20 seconds again. Get a little closer still. 23 seconds. It doesn't matter at this point because it's going to be crazy. So there's 11 by 12. See, it's roughly equatorial. We could go like over here and straighten it out, but we don't really need to do that. We just need to get home. So in order to get home, the most ideal way to burn is prograde while on the side of the mun facing Kerbal. You can always take your slider and change it if you need to. We're going to right click here and see how much delta V it's going to take. 3, 2, 1. That's 42. 42 is about where I want to be, but I don't want to be at that angle when we're coming in. So we're probably going to do this and change that. Oops, too far. Too much. So then we can take our slider here and like move this over and around. Yeah, that's about ideal. But actually, we can get a little closer here, maybe, and use less delta V. So it looks like over here is probably better for us. If you were really hurting for delta V, you can always find the most optimal way to get somewhere. There's 318, 316. You only really need like 250, so. Right there looks like the most ideal place to start burning. Crap, I can't find a nice even ground. Oh, don't go the opposite way. 20, 30, 47. 314 delta V. So we'll point there. We got 22 minutes. We got 77 electric charge. We're okay. We got plenty of electric charge. Even though I broke dance on the surface of the mun 1,000 times. And then yeah, this should get you home. And then general rule of thumb is with the delta V you have left over, use it to break your entry speed as you come into Kerbal. That way you don't completely burn up and kill everybody that you have on board the ship. Or at least that's what I do. Some people like to aerobrake. They like to dip just into the atmosphere and like ride around the planet 1,000 times. I don't like doing that. If you have to because of like delta V restrictions or ship, abnormalities, that's fine. It's good to get into a practice of that and get used to it, but I don't like doing it. I just like going hard in the paint, Jordan style. So we need to burn a little bit here. We're going to lose our little reticule here. That's fine. Okay, that puts us 54,000. That's okay. Then we're going to zoom. We're going to warp over to here. Leave the mun. Bye, mun. If you have a scientist on board, you can reset your experiments, and you can get more science while you're going around, but you need a probe core to do all this stuff. If you had just a scientist and no probe core, you're going to have a really bad time. I do not want to be riding in your ship. Two hours, 1 hour, 30 minutes. Okay, so this is 150 out. So we can probably come right over to here. And then we're burning in. Aim ourselves retrograde, get ready, point ourselves. I would say right around 80,000 start burning. You don't want to wait till it's too late, depending on how much delta V you have. So 90, 80, 3, 2, 1. And this slows ourselves down. We're going to slow down about 500 meters a second, which is good. And it should end right as we're dipping under 70,000, which is right where you want to fall into the atmosphere, take off your other stage, cruise in, land with your parachutes, and everything's good. Yeah, tin can. The more you can budget, the more you can give yourself and the more you can save, the better off you are. I'm known for over-engineering ships. I over-engineer ships all the time. But what I just built right there really isn't that bad. And if you notice, we had plenty of fuel. You got plenty of room for screw up. You got plenty of room to wiggle around. You could have even biome hopped if you wanted to, which is, I wouldn't advise that if you're just starting out with the game. But you could even hop a biome or two, and it gives you more confidence in your builds. But I used all parts that you probably have access to. You know, best of luck. And then he's going to come in. He's going to get captured this time around. We got plenty of ablator. You could also take some ablator away. You didn't know about that calculator? It's something that the game doesn't really tell you. We could have taken away half the ablator. That would have given us less mass and would give us more delta V on the last stage we had there. But this gets us home. Right around 1200, we'll start losing the plasma. Watch us land in the one little bit of water on this side of the map. I'm not going to deploy my chute yet. We're going to wait till we're past that water. Maybe. Nope, we're going to fall before it. Yay! Shoot, go! There's a calculator and then a thing in the VAB. No, I'm talking about this. Dolian. I think I've showed you that before. This little image here that shows you what delta V you made for things. What you need for which planets and moons and stuff. That's an average. That's not exactly what you need, but you always want to use that as a guide. Like Moho, for example, I always use thousands more than what it says for Moho. Moho is a lost cause for me. I just pack like 10,000 delta V and just go. It's a pain in the ass. You never looked at it? I'll show you how to read it here in just a minute. Let me get this guy down. So for less than like 7 meters a second, we want to jettison the heat shield. No, we're good. And keep the heat shield to get a few dollars back if you want to. The thing in game, didn't you pull out a calculator? Oh, the delta V calculator. Yeah, it's in the VAB. I can show you both of those. But that's where all of your ISP and everything comes into play. It calculates into that delta V calculator. So Dolian, what I was telling Tin Can earlier, let me get this cleared out. We're going to get some science. So yeah, we got like 150 science just then. So what I was telling Tin Can earlier, this is a delta V calculator. This is how you determine how much delta V you need to get to where you're going. We were going to the Mun just now. If we took off from Kerbal and we landed on the Mun and didn't do anything else, we need, on average, 5,150 delta V. And this takes into account capturing, orbiting, landing. And each step tells you an average. So you need 3,400 to get into orbit. Then you need 860 to catch the Mun, 310 to orbit, 580 to land. And then you use that in your calculator when you're doing your math. And what I was showing Tin Can was the game gives you a delta V calculator. So let me pull that rocket back up again. I don't have it anymore. I didn't save it. Unless it auto-saved. Did it auto-save somewhere? Let's see. Auto-save? It didn't auto-save. Either way, let me show you roughly what we were talking about. So, you want to build your last stage first and your first stage last. So what I was telling Tin Can was, if you have this as your Mun flyby vehicle, if you just have this attached and you use this delta V calculator and you do vacuum of Kerbal, it tells you how much delta V you have. Now, some of these engines work better in atmosphere than they do in space, and if you change some of the things, it reflects that. It's a calculator. So you want to make sure that you utilize that when you're building your stages. So when you build your last stage, you want to have vacuum turned on. Then when you build the next stage, you want to have sea level turned on. That way you can see you have 2,500 delta V at sea level, and so on and so forth. And you want to build each piece. That way you have your whole ship put together when it comes time to launch it. How you doing, Pop Smoke? Welcome in, buddy. It's good to see you. Happy Sunday. But that's what we were talking about. That combined with the other sheet. And that sheet's not very generous. That sheet is it's tight in some places. That's what she said. Stochastic guy, what's going on, buddy? How are you? Happy Sunday. Don't take notes. No notes. No notes. You can chill tonight? Awesome, dude. I gotta see how many things we have out in space. I gotta launch more. I have 3. I gotta launch 2 more, I think. So we have Elu, Drace, and Moho. We're gonna check our windows here, and we need one for Minmus and one for Mun. At least 12 things. Yeah, at least 12. Moho, Drace, Elu, and then I want, yeah. I want Kerbal and Mun. Or Mun and Minmus. We can also do Kerbal too if we really wanted to. But we don't need to. Open. We're going to grab our latest build, which is 30. All the notes. I mean, if you want to, man, I can't stop you. So yeah, here's our sky crane to deliver rovers to the surface of planets around you. We've launched 3. We're going to launch 2 more. Then we're going to design a nuclear tug and then get them out there. Hi, Camaro Shell. How are you? Welcome in. It's good to see you. Hope you're well. Tin Can, if you have any questions, let me know, buddy. I'll try to help you out as much as I can. Launch. How am I? I'm struggling with audio issues again. I'm hearing myself echo from various monitors around my setup, and I'm getting frustrated by it. But other than that, I'm okay. I feel like I'm schizophrenic to a degree, but I'm not. It's just me echoing to myself. It's frustrating. It's like when you're talking on the phone sometimes and you can hear yourself in the phone come back at you, and it's like half of a second after what you said. That's what I hear over there on that end of things. And I could be going crazy, who knows? No problem, Tin Can. It's what I'm here for, my friend. It's the little things, dude, right? It happens when your mother calls. It's when they put you on speakerphone and you hear yourself bouncing off the walls back into the speaker. Or at least that's what I think it is. Tin Can! Showing the ways of the armament to the notorious Wig. Wig, enjoy your ad-free viewing, your sandy emotes, and your sword. Thanks for being here and hanging out, my friend. And thank you, Tin Can. I appreciate it, my friend. Always, always, always. And you know you don't have to do that. I've said that before. Get this thing up and out. I was kind of stoked that that ship was within our 50-ton limit. It kind of made it all relevant. That's why I went on ahead and finished the whole mission. Otherwise, I would have just reverted once we had the parachute out. Of course. Don't you hate it when you're so bored you want to eat something? You're preaching to the choir. Throw away. Yep, I've been that way before. Not as of late. I mean, sometimes I'm like physically bored, but not mentally bored. Like my mind's going a million miles a second, but I just can't find something to do. I'm just like, I'll eat. That doesn't end very well for anyone involved. We need to climb a little higher. Hello? What am I doing? Oh, my throttle. I gotta throttle up. That's what my problem is. Go! Oops. Just kind of screwed the pooch on this one. Well, this one might be almost out of fuel by the time we get it out and into orbit. It's a lesson on what not to do. Gonna try and put a science lab rover on the moon. Good luck, buddy. I would put it on Mimnus if I were you, but hey, sometimes the moon needs some love too. Here's the locking to maneuver, by the way, whoever asked earlier. There's the button there. We have one of the end game probes, so we can lock everything. Normal, anti-normal, target, anti-target, radial out, radial in, etc., etc. Didn't know there was an upload limit? What do you mean? I don't need lessons on what not to do. I do find that already. I do too, Tim. I'm always learning. I'm always repeating stuff. Whoa, poor rover. Relax, buddy. Oh my M, that's hilarious. That's hilarious. I love that. Would I be able to put one on Minmus also? Well, yeah, but you don't. So, Dolian, did I ever teach you about science? Processing science? How you doing, Uranium? Welcome in. There is no shroud around them. I just have them tucked up a little bit. How are you doing, bud? Welcome in. Aren't you glad they're not all going live tomorrow? Oh, I am. I wonder if it's number of videos or hours of footage. You know? Might be based off of upload time. You can, Dolian, but if you're wanting to maximize your science output, putting it all on Minmus is better. But yeah, you can have multiple. You can have multiple on the same body going. I was just trying to help you be more efficient, dude. How you doing, girl from Riober? How are you doing today? Welcome in. Sorry if I butchered your name. I don't know what to tell you, OMIM. I'm probably going to end up getting banned for spamming or something. You're better now? Cool. Well, it's good to have you in here. Oh! You're from Brazil, aren't you? I understand your name now. You're in Rio. Ha-ha! I put it all together. I thought it was some kind of weird planet name. Well, that works. Well, hello to Brazil. Hope you're having a good weekend so far. I was like, Ryobi. I was thinking like the vacuum cleaner, the Ryobi, or the tools. I was like, that doesn't make any sense. No. Access. I was just trying to think of a planet. Because they came in and said, hi, fellow astronaut. I thought, I was thinking wee woo, Ninu, and stuff like that. Yeah, Scantron. Leave me alone, guys. Are you guys, am I saying something wrong? Are you guys making fun of me? Community pick on the streamer. I do get that. The multiplier is higher on Minmus, but when I would have to get reports to it before it goes to Minmus or get to it afterward, right? The multiplier is higher on Minmus, but then I would have to get the reports to it before it goes to Minmus or get it to it afterward, right? You would have to process the science at that place. You can put any science you want to in it. Like the other day, we had 6,000 science that came from Eve. I could have put it into the Minmus capsule and processed it into like 32,000 science if I wanted to, but we didn't need 32,000 science. But it has to go to that module. You can't like communicate it to it via satellites or anything, unfortunately. Okay, so this one's going to be the MUN. MUN. Oops. MUN Sky Crane. Sky Crane. Let's go do Minmus now. It's fun here. I'm glad you enjoy it. If you have any questions, feel free to ask. That's a new crash thing, huh? I've never seen that before. Well, the whole game just crashed on me. That's cool. Thanks, Kerbal. I've never seen that before. Earth Crane. No, there is no Earth in this game. Fun on the MUN. Hell yeah, dude. Fun in the sun on the MUN. Fun in the sun while you run on the MUN. It's a pun. A fun pun while you run on the MUN in the sun. With your son. Process MUN reports on Minmus. I just need the MUN to get them and then get them back to Kerbal or to Minmus. Yeah, but having a mobile processing lab on the MUN is not needed. You just have to land, get your science, and then go to Minmus with it. You don't want to run it through a mobile processing lab, then take it to Minmus, because that's not going to work that way. Once you process it, it has to be transmitted. I do need to launch one more, but we're going to double check to make sure that the MUN one's out there. Go. Because if you can process and then process again, that'd be very broken. Whee! I can check for the MUN one while I'm going up. Moho, Elu, Drace, MUN. Okay, cool. We do have MUN out there. Imagine have a drink and keep jumping in Minmus. You can do that if you want to. It's fun to jump in Minmus. Look at the lighting bugging out. The shadows are not liking this right now. It depends, Tin Can. Some people can ride in a boat out in the ocean for hours at a time. Some people last 5 seconds and they puke everywhere. Oh, Dolian, when you finally understand, it is super easy. But I get what you're saying. I get what you're saying.